delicious cinnamon buns, you will need 500 grams of strong white flour. This kind of flour has more gluten in it than regular plain flours. All other measurements will be listed in the description below along with the recipe. In a mixing bowl, put your flour, 1 teaspoon of salt and a 7-gram package of dried yeast. You can get this in any supermarket. Try to stop the yeast touching the salt, as the salt can kill the yeast and stop it from growing later. In a saucepan on a medium heat, put 300 ml of milk and 40 grams of butter. Melt the butter into the milk and warm it until lukewarm. Pour the melted butter and milk mixture into the flour and crack 1 egg in 2. Stir until a soft dough forms. You can do this bit by hand on a counter, but I decided to do it in a machine. Knead the dough for around 5 minutes or until smooth and elastic. After 5 minutes of kneading, your dough should look something like this. Put it into a bowl, there's no need to oil it, and cover it with a damp tea towel. Put the bowl in a warm place and let it proof for 1 hour. To make the filling, put 100 grams of softened butter into a bowl, 100 grams of soft brown sugar, and 4 teaspoons of cinnamon, or as much as you want. Now butter or oil a roasting tin and line it with some greaseproof paper. My tin wasn't big enough to hold all my cinnamon buns in, so use a bigger tin than I am, like a roasting tin. Put some flour on your surface and rub some on your rolling pin. Take your dough that's been proving for an hour and tip it out onto the surface. Don't worry if it hasn't grown much. Because of the milk and eggs, it won't have puffed up as much as regular bread dough. Start to roll your dough out and keep turning it so it doesn't stick to the surface. Your rectangle of dough should measure about 25 cm by 35 cm. Other measurements will be in the description below. Now tack down one of the sides of your dough to the counter. This will stop it from sliding all over the table and will help when you come to roll up the dough. Now spread your filling right to the edges. You don't want any piece to have less cinnamon in it than the others. Now roll up your dough firmly to form a log. The tacked end will also help the dough stick to itself. Now trim off both ends of your log and cut your dough into about 12 pieces. swirly. Now, you want to place your dough pieces into your tin. Again, I could only fit 9 in mine, so use a bigger tin than I am. Make sure the buns are spaced 1 centimetre apart, as they will expand in the oven. Now, cover your pan with the same tea towel and let them rest for another 30 minutes. Now, preheat your oven to the temperatures listed on the screen. While your buns are resting, you can make a quick glaze to put on the top. I used about 120 grams of icing sugar and 2 tablespoons of water. After the half an hour is up, you can put your buns in the oven and cook them for about 25 to 30 minutes or until golden brown on top. Now, carefully remove them from the pan while they're still warm. And cover them in icing. And you're done!